This is a public service announcement about the dangers or wonders, depending on who you ask, about alcohol. So let's start with a bit of background on alcohol. As far back as 3000 BC in the Andes in Southern America, there is evidence that shows the consumption of chicha, a beer made of maize. This suggests that the practice of fermenting grains to produce alcohol has been around for a long time. This production and consumption of alcohol in these ancient societies were like a group effort, strengthening community ties. The next topic we're going to discuss is short-term and long-term consequences of drinking. So short-term, to start off, impaired mental state, more prone to falling, more likely to get into car accidents, bad stuff. Alcohol overdose, alcohol poisoning, trips to the emergency room, no fun. Long-term damage would be damage to your brain cells, damage to your liver, cirrhosis of the liver, fatty liver, and just the mental issues and addiction that comes with drinking, prolonged use of drinking alcohol. So we talked about the short-term consequences of alcohol, binge drinking, all that stuff. Now let's talk about the long-term effects it plays on your body and how it affects your body long-term. Brain neurological system. Alcohol interferes with brain communication pathways, impacting mood, behavior, thinking, coordination, and memory. Alcohol and its metabolic byproducts can kill brain cells, leading to long-lasting damage. Liver disease. Heavy drinking significantly stresses the liver. Prolonged abuse can lead to various liver problems collectively, known as fatty liver, cirrhosis of the liver, inflammation. Good thing about it is that it can be rejuvenated by not participating in that kind of behavior, but if you don't keep it in check, it'll come back. So one thing I've noticed is that in the United States, we tend to glamorize alcohol, celebrity endorsements, all that. Is that linked to higher alcohol consumption? I believe so. When you see your favorite celebrity doing it, more people want to do it, more people think it's cool, especially if it shows an image of like a party, the beach. Kids are pretty impressionable, so I feel like it shows the upside to drinking. And I feel like also the stigma now that cigarettes are ill, who smokes. I feel like alcohol being just as bad doesn't have that stigma. People don't go ill when you drink. When you go to a bar, nobody's saying ill. But when you're smoking, the smell, a lot of people can't stand the smell, and I feel like it's viewed as a healthier alternative maybe. I would also like to discuss BAC. So BAC stands for blood alcohol concentration. It's a precise measurement used to assess intoxication and a person's impairment, particularly their ability to perform certain activities like driving. It's measured in milligrams percent, comparing units of alcohol to units of blood. The higher your BAC, the more alcohol has been absorbed in your bloodstream and is affecting your body and brain. In the United States, the legal limit for intoxication is 0.08. So contrary to popular belief, drinking coffee, taking a shower does not sober you up any faster. You still have to give your liver time to process things. And it's also crucial that you do not take Tylenol while alcohol is being processed in the body. Alcohol activates an enzyme that can transform acetaminophen into a toxic substance, potentially causing liver inflammation and irreversible damage. So for the few of those of you that can't control your alcohol, there's some good news. A review of studies suggests that moderate intake could reduce the risk of coronary heart disease by 30% in middle-aged men and older. Some evidence also suggests reduced risk of metabolic syndrome type 2 and gallstones. So in conclusion, I want to leave you guys with something to chew on, to think about with alcohol. It doesn't need to be the life of the party. You don't need a drink to be socially accepted. None of that. You can have a good time without drinking. And what I would implore people is, find healthier alternatives. Go for a walk, painting, different hobbies, just to kind of keep you centered, to replace that need of having to drink. But if anything, if you need a drink, if you need someone to talk to, I would suggest maybe a therapist to see what triggers you, why you feel the need to drink. And don't forget, there's people willing to help. your friends, family, reach out. Let your voice be heard that you have a problem with drinking, and just seek the help that you need to get better. Don't forget, there's AA, there's AAs for teenagers, and I really just want to see people live healthier, be healthier, and not have to worry about the social stigma of not wanting to drink. Not everybody needs a drink. Not everybody can handle a drink. And with that, I leave you. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.